So welcome to my Boogie Woogie tutorial number 4. What do squirrels and boogie students have in common? They both have to crack nuts, and we will start with our first nut. It's the left hand. You know my usual recipe. I'll show you an idea in the right hand which we can use in the C7, the tonic, the subdominant, the F7, and then we have a swoosh down on G7 and a nice typical ending. This time I will also show you a left hand. Many might know this from my earlier tutorial on this left hand. If you know it already, go get a beer and sit down for 5 minutes and be silent. I will show this left hand. It's Albert Emmons left hand. It's beautiful and it's not so hard if you think about it. So don't think about it. We start, contrary to many left hands, don't start on this C like we start of the chord. We use these ones. We use these first. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So it's 1 and 2. And this is what we love. We love the rumble here. It's causing, you know, the rumble in the jungle. And you know the left hand is always the jungle here for piano players. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Now look when I'm swapping to F7, what I do. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Look again. 3 and 5 and 9 and 1 and 2. So I'm anticipating the next chord by one note. This makes it easier to tie the chords. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. How would it look if I didn't do this? Now. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and quite far to jump. Don't make it, and if I make it I just hit the wrong notes. But 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. You see, it's a beauty. You can tie the chords also at high speed. Here we go. You see, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Got it? So now the thing is, you have to play it from the wrist. If like the single note left hand or or whatever you fancy is quite hard actually. To make the single fingers jump and play it like the nice dotting. Here, the fingers are basically, they can be paralyzed. You can even make a little piece of wood on each finger. It wouldn't matter. You could still do it because it's coming from the wrist. Yeah. Shaky, 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 shaky. Shake that money maker, shake that money maker. That was James Brown. Now, just make sure you learn to use your wrist from this. Shake it like you would shake, what do we shake in Germany? Tables. We love to shake tables. So pretend you're shaking a table. You can also start by pretending to shake a chair maybe. Okay, so it's all from the wrist. Otherwise you will freeze and you will get heavy and you will just lose your speed and lose lose that mojo in the left hand. Okay, so that was the left hand. You can also start, of course, with an easier left hand. Now, the idea for the right hand. It's again an idea you can carry through C7 and F7. It stays completely identical. That's the bit. What is it? It sounds dense, it's nice. It doesn't take much effort, but it sounds intensive. That's what we use. And why does it come? Because it's on the offbeats. You know? You can even play that from like for 24 hours. It still sounds intense. Of course, we are not here to make it so simple, but you can. It's also being played a lot, like just go on with it. But we want to add a little thing here, and I want to show you two new things here. First, we count this one. We put it in the middle so that you can see more. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. So this is always coming on the offbeat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 4 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. So this is easy, yeah? You just saw it. It's just always on the offbeat. And now we have this little thing. You see, I'm slowly, step by step, showing you these little elements that are so typical of boogie. We have these 3-note things, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and we have this all the time. And we have the 4-note elements, which then a little bit come later. I'll show you one last time. You know, we have these 3 notes, and we have the 4-note elements. And here we have a 3-note element. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and. We just played with 3 times with the thumb, for which my classical piano teacher would bite off. She would bite off. She was 72 years old, but she would still bite my fingers off because this is a no-go for classical piano. But anyway, Dr. John plays it like this, so you can play it like this. I invented the term, we are circling the E. Why? Again, it's a memory hook for you to remember. Instead of remembering F, E flat, E, you remember circling the E. Right of the E, 1/2 tone, left of the E, 1/2 tone, and down to the E. So, also because it's worth remembering it, because it's coming a lot in boogie. I don't even start, okay? So, it's a good thing to remember circling the E. Now, we're coming from here, 1 and 2 and 3, and circling the E with the 3 thumbs. 3-thumb technique, okay? Now we play it together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So this is 2/16 on the and to 4 and 1 and 1 and 2 and 3 and to 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and to 4 and 1 and. Okay? You don't have to use the second one. I use the second one because I can. I have a big span here, and makes it easier for me than to reach with the 4th finger back here. But you can also play it with the 5th and then restart with the 1st one. Okay? Now, what is the swoosh down today? On the swoosh down, yes, of course, first of all, you can use it on F. Same. And now we are on G. And here is the 1. You remember the 1 in the left hand is this one. I use the simpler left hand for now, and it's easier to for you to understand. We are on G. We start from the major 3rd of G and the octave. And now we do 2 steps here, 1 step down. Chromatic with the 2nd finger. Here, we don't use the 3-thumb technique. We actually use different fingers. And then 1 down here, the F, chromatic, and down to the E. So the thing is, but then it stays the same. It's the same. Okay, So we love these sequences when they just stay the same. And it sounds great, no? It's an Albert Emmons thing too, I believe. I believe it's Albert Emmons. Very melodious and very, it sounds like quite cultivated, no? Melodious, old school. Very much Emmons. Okay, so let's have it again. 1 and 2. Chromatic F. Chromatic E. Chromatic D. Circling the E. Hey, here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. So we are coming down after circling the E. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Again, we're coming from circling the E, and now the 2 C bars in the end start. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, and now the new chorus starts with something else. Okay, so again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So one question might come up, can I play this? Also, if I don't play boogie just with G, just with the dominant, but if I have a boogie that uses G and F on the way back to C, and I want to include it, yes, you can. It sounds good as well. No problem with the usual changes, G7, F7, and back to C. Then, if you want something extra, a little variation, I think last time I offered you one too. This time we'll look a little bit ahead. If you're a bit more skilled already, you can play this variation on this. Let's have a quick look what it is. So what is it? It's now we're using 16th triplets on the offbeat. It goes like this. I put it together. Slower, and also make sure that after these 3 triplets. Oh, Christian made not sure. That this is your anchor, this is where both are coming together, otherwise your boogie woogie groove will fall apart. Many boogie pianists, amateurs, they just want to play fast and play the big stuff, and they don't make sure it's tight. And you got to have some anchors. You can play these sloppily, but you got to meet here with the left hand on the A, both A. Make sure how you should go about it. Here, figure out where the fingers are meeting the contact points, where the key is actually producing sound. Your hand is not even; it's rounded. Also, here when you hit on here, the contacts are also not meeting in an even fashion. So you got to figure this out. Where is it making sound? Here, and you do it just like me. Just like investigating it. Investigate it. Takes some time, but it's building up a routine, and then later on, if you do it straight away like this, you're very often dropping this one. like this one, because you haven't figured out how this should be like a cuddling to the D. Cuddle, cuddle. Your fingers should cuddle with the keys, you know? Make it a love affair, so that you really know where it's molding around the contact points, the sound, where the sound is coming. And then you can slowly accelerate and make sure that, because we need this, it's a round motion, we need the wrist also, you know, cuddle and wrist. Cuddle and wrist, that's a recipe, okay? Cuddle and wrist, that's really great. Okay, thanks for watching, that was it. Make sure you don't miss any of my videos. Click on my face somewhere here to subscribe to my channel or pick another video. I hope you're well, stay safe, stay healthy. That's it, bye from Berlin.